You know, they say that the camera adds 10 pounds, but for some reason, every time I'm on camera, the 10 pounds is right on my head. I look like the Black Charlie Brown every time I'm on stage. Good evening, y'all. As the voice of God said, my name is Chris Turner. I run government affairs for the Western Hemisphere for Dell. But thank you, my people. But let's put a pin in that title and let me talk at y'all for a minute. When I was a kid, my mom was extremely involved in my education. And by that I mean I would come home from school with an A on my paper, and my mom would say, that's a school A, that's not a family A. You're not done yet, write it over. I can remember one particular time where we had to pick a poem that we loved to recite in high school. And me being into music and being into poetry, I thought, what am I going to hit him with? Am I going to go Public Enemy, or am I going to throw a curveball and do some Shel Silverstein? My mom got wind of this and said, She gave me a stack of her books from college of poetry. Emily Dickinson, Sylvia Plath, Langston Hughes, Theodore Radke. I didn't pick any of those, but let me indulge you for a minute with the poem that I did pick. Mother dear, may I go downtown instead of out to play and march the streets of Birmingham in a freedom march today? No, baby, no, you may not go, for the dogs are fierce and wild, and clubs and hoses, guns in jail aren't good for a little child. But mother, I won't be alone. Other children will come with me and march the streets of Birmingham to make our country free. No, baby, no, you may not go, for I fear those guns will fire. But you may go to church instead and sing in the children's choir. The mother brushed her jet black hair and bathed rose petal sweet. She drew white gloves on her small brown hands and white shoes upon her feet. The mother smiled to know the child was in the sacred place. But that smile was the last smile to come upon her face. For when she heard the explosion, her eyes grew wet and wild. She raced through the streets of Birmingham, calling for her child. She clawed through bits of glass and brick and lifted out a shoe. Oh, here's the shoe my baby wore. But baby, where are you? That poem has gotten significantly harder to tell. Thank you. That poem has gotten significantly harder to tell since I now have a 3.5-year-old beautiful black and Mexican baby. But that poem is also tricky, y'all, right? Because it's about, Dudley Randall wrote that about a specific event in 1963 Birmingham. But he could have written it about 1998 Wyoming. He could have written it 14 different times in 2019 in South Carolina. Everyone in this room has been empowered with a sacred trust. Protect all of us in our places of work and make us feel like we all belong. I'm proud of the video from my company that ran tonight. I am proud that we have leaders at our company like Eric Day that have been empowered or have taken power to fight for all of us. Hey, I'm proud that my company put that black kid with a Charlie Brown head and a heart full of poetry to represent them in Washington, D.C., and to be on stage with y'all here tonight. but it's not good enough. Just like my mom said, we may have the school A, but we don't have a family A yet. Until all of us receive equal pay for equal work, there's more work to do. Until no one gives a goddamn about what bathroom we choose, we still have work to do. Until our transgender brothers and sisters of color can walk the streets of any city in this country without fearing for their lives, let alone feel accepted at work, we still have work to do. We haven't gotten to family A yet. So y'all got some homework. Go to your companies, if you haven't already, and find the person there with my title, right? Find the person in government affairs. Invite them to your ERG committees. Ask them what they are doing to advocate on behalf of their employees in Washington, D.C. and in state capitals around the world. Bring them to Out and Equal next year in Vegas so they can feel the power in this room. Now, I know everyone in this room is already carrying a lot of water, more than your fair share, and I'm putting more work on your plate. But look around you. You've got a room full of people willing to carry that weight with you, a room full of people willing to stand up and fight with you. And y'all, we've come a long way, but we've got miles to go before we sleep. Thank you.